So re-implementing under President Trump's direction and leadership remain in Mexico. We're re-implementing safe third agreements, ending catch and release, and of course we are unleashing ICE to perform its mission all across the interior of the United States.
So that's happening in real time, in a matter of days and hours. Tom Homan told everyone this is going to happen. You know, I did notice this. You have Ilhan Omar, and of course the squad is always going to be the squad. But Democrats don't really know what to make of this. Because if they criticize this, are they pro-international criminal? I mean, they're pulling out the worst of the worst, embedded in sanctuary cities from Boston to New York to Chicago. If they come out against you, they're coming out for international criminals.
Well, that's exactly right. Look, President Trump is liberating these communities. And look, I think all across the board, what you've seen, as people have said, look, President Trump did more in the first 3 or 4 days than most presidents have done in their entire administrations. Border security, immigration security, national defense, ending DEI, beginning the process of unleashing American energy, reforming the federal workforce, and tackling inflation, bringing down the cost of living, restoring government accountability, engaging in government transparency, ending the weaponization of government, ending federal censorship, ending transgender madness. So President Trump is implementing this historic slate of reforms all across the U.S. government with a simple but remarkable message. The American people are in control of their government again. They elected Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is implementing his mandate. And congressional Democrats, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say because they're on the wrong side of 90-10 issues, Brian. All these issues are 90-10. They're in the 10%.
And 58% of the country is for mass deportations. You know, Stephen, people are trying to get a hold of the new administration, understand who comes in. They know you. I thought this tear out from Politico was pretty significant for people who don't. It's Stephen Miller's moment, they say. It is clear both by his actions and from conversations with people around Trump that Miller will be an even bigger power center this time around. Given Miller's a hot shot status in the West Wing, Trump world dwellers in and outside the White House all but want to be in his good graces or at least avoid crossing him. Bring us behind the scenes with your expanded portfolio. What's it going to be like? What did you learn the first 4 that makes you more confident in this next 4?
Well, that's very humbling, Brian, and I appreciate it. My job is simple. My job is to implement the orders and directions of the President of the United States, who's been elected by the whole American people. And to answer your question, and to serve him loyally, to serve him faithfully, and to make sure that the agenda that he campaigned on is implemented loyally and faithfully across the whole U.S. government. But to answer your question, look, he's assembled a team, and I include myself in this, who have learned how to use the levers of power within the departments and agencies to achieve righteous reform on behalf of the American people. So you mentioned, as an example, we talked about at the beginning of the segment, you have military aircraft carrying out repatriation flags, removal flags, for the first time in American history. I mean, just think about that. You've had presidents over generations, and never once have they used military aircraft to carry out these removals, which increases by 10-fold, 100-fold, our capacity to restore national sovereignty and to defend against invasion. President Trump was able to turn that on in 24 hours. Normally, Brian, a process like that would involve interagency planning meetings. You would have people who are the associate vice bureau director of XYZ, ABC. They'd be talking for weeks and months. Then you get lawyers involved. They have 100 different opinions, people who work in the government for 30, 40 years, with throwing bureaucracy, throwing red tape, throwing in agency handbooks. President Trump gave the order, and the government snapped to and implemented in 24 hours. That's the team you're looking at now. That's the team that President Trump has assembled. So I will say, to the recalcitrant bureaucrats that are out there, it's not up to you anymore. President Trump is elected. His agenda is going to be implemented. And I would say to the congressional Democrats who are on the wrong side of history, who are supporting these criminal aliens, it doesn't matter what you think. Because this government, under President Trump's leadership, is going to get these criminal aliens out of the country. And he's going to use FBI, ATF, DEA, U.S. Marshals, Homeland Security investigations, Border Patrol, CBP, and ICE, and the military to liberate our cities and towns, and public safety will be restored, national security will thrive, and America will be happier and more prosperous than ever before. And Brian, it's happening right now before our very eyes.
And it's in the first, we're still in the first week. It's hard to believe. Steve Miller, thanks so much. We hope to talk to you early and often. It's going to be an exciting time. I think America's on the move. Stephen Miller, thank you. Congratulations on your new job. Meanwhile, as we move ahead on this Saturday night, President Trump is giving Russia